Welcome back to Python tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to be looking over list. All right, lists are order sequences that can hold variety of objects. Okay, lists use brackets and commas to separate objects in a list. For example, it starts with a bracket, as you can see, and we have one, a string, and we have two. We have one, right, a comma, then we have another one, a comma, then we have 2.5, right? So lists support indexing and slicing. And also they have comprehensive lists, all right, which means that lists can be nested. Okay, so I will get into Jupyter Notebook in order to discuss more on this. All right, so now we can see that I already saved it with list. Okay, so let's create a list. All right, so let's say my list, all right, my list, and say this is equal to remember we have our bracket. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we run and we say my list, right? And we run. Of course, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now let's check type our parentheses, and then we'll have this, and we paste it here and we run. Of course, you can see list. Okay, so now Python also supports it supports flexibility, right? So it's flexible with the object types it can hold. All right, so that is why people Python list is so sweet, I guess. So now let's say new list, and now we are assigning to equal to our brackets, and then we say we have a string, have one, and we have a comma, and we have 55, and then we have a comma, and then we have floats, right? Let's say 3.89. all right, then we run, and then when we come new list, so let's copy this, and paste here. We'll call this, of course it returns a list, and now let's check the data type, right? Let's get this and paste it here, and then new list, right? And we run. Of course it's a list, correct? So now the next thing we are going to be looking into is we're going to be looking into indexing. All right, so I will show you how to do indexing with a list. Right, so now we have our list, we have the new list, which is 1, 2, 3, and we'll say new list. All right, then remember I will say we want to get this value which is at index 0. We'll say 0 and we run. Of course it returns 1, and then when we say let's get the float, okay, and we have our square brackets, and we say 2, and of course it happens, like we can see it gets it for us. So now something else we want to actually look into again is concatenation. So let's say we have a new list. All right, let's check my list is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's say another list. All right, another list, and we store it. Let's get that to, okay, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so now let's run this, and now when we call on another list, notice what it is going to return. Of course, we have 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so now I want to add it to my list. So what we say is my list. All right, this is known as concatenation. All right, string concatenation. Okay, plus another list, and we run 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course you can see it to 8. All right, so we have concatenated my list to another list, correct? So now this is not stored. Okay, so now when I say my list, or when I say another list, of course we get this. So in order to store this, we can say updated list, is equal to this, and then we run, and we'll have our updated list. Then you can see, so this means that it has been stored. All right, so this is it for string concatenation, string indexing. Okay, so let's say to show indexing again, let's say updated list, and we say want to get 5, and this is 1 2 3 4 5. Let's say index 4. All right, of course you can see. So if we want to do slicing, we can say okay, get everything, want to grab everything from 5 to 8, we can say okay, from 5 to the end. 4 rather. Of course, you can see 5 6 7 8, and then if we want to get the last one, which is just 8, we can say -1, and of course it gives us 8. So this is it for indexing and slicing. And the next thing we want to look into is string mutation. All right, so this basically means that we can mutate a string. Mutate, right? So we can mutate a string, which means that we can change it, right? Okay, so now let's do something. So updated list. Okay, so let's store this in a variable. All right, let's store this in a variable, and let's say that variable as okay, mutate. All right, so now let's run this cell. So when I call on mutate, let's see, when I call on mutate, mutate unexpected indentation. Oh yeah. So when I call on mutate, and it says 5 6 7 8. All right, so now we want to change this 1 5. We want to change it to something like 4. All right, so we say mutate and index, bracket, and we say index 0 is now equal to 4, and we run. So when I call on mutate, so look at what we have. We have 4 6 7 8. All right, so we know that strings are not flexible, but lists are so flexible. So let's change this to, let's say, this 8 to, let's say let's change it to, let's say, 12. Okay, so let's do that. Let's say mutate, then we have the index, so just let's say -1 to grab the last one, which is 8, and then we say this is equal to 12, and let's save, and we'll call it mutate and run. Of course, you can see 4 6 7 8. So the next thing we want to look at is list methods, right? So we want to look at, then if we can change this, then how can we add something or remove something? Okay, so now we're playing with this one. So let's check, let's say my fruits. I must like fruits a lot. My fruits is equal to, let's say, open our list, sorry, and we'll say let's say orange, and then we say orange, let's say banana, and let's say apple, okay, now let's save. Then when I say my fruits, let's have orange, banana, and apple, right? So now we want to add another fruit to this, all right, to the list. And what fruit can we add? Let's say berries, right? So say my fruits dot append. All right, so so before we do this, I want to show you something. So when you say my fruit and you hit dot and your tab, you see everything, all the list method you can use to on a list. So let's say dot append, and when I click tab, it auto completes, right? And then we'll have these. Okay, this basically means that we want to add something to it, right? We want to add another fruit to it. So now let's say berries, and let's save. And when I call on my fruits, of course we have it as orange, banana, apple, and berries. So this is how we actually attach something to it, to our list. And also, if we can append, which means we can also remove, right? So now let's say we want to take out orange, or no, let's say we want to take out berries, which we just appended. I changed my mind, I don't like berries anymore. So we'll say dot, use the pop, all right? So what this pop actually does is that it removes the very last thing on your list. All right. So now when I say my fruits.pop, of course, you see, it shows you that, hey, I've removed berries. So now when you call my fruits, all right, and you see it returns back orange, banana, and apple. Correct. So now you might be asking, hey, what if I don't want to take out anything from if I don't want to take out anything from, I don't want to take out the last one. I changed my mind. I don't need berries anymore, and now I need orange. So what do I do? So let's rerun this cell. And when I come here and I say fruits, and let's see, we still have this. Okay, so let's see. And where is the append? Okay, so let's run this. And when I come here, I rerun this cell. And of course, I have orange, banana, apple, and berries. Okay, so now I don't want to take out the berries, I want to take out orange. So what you can do is save my fruits, then dot pop, then you use the index. All right, you say index 0, then you run. It tells you now that, hey, orange has been popped out. So when I call on my fruits, then you can see it's gone. So this is how you basically pop out things from your fruits, okay, from your list rather. All right, so this is how you basically do them. So something else we want to look into is the reverse and the sort. Okay, how to sort our list and how to reverse our list. All right, so now let's say we have my list, and we say this is equal to our bracket. We'll say this is equal to 5, 4, 3, 2, 0, 1, 10, and 15. Right. So now when we run, this is now orderly. So when we call on my list and we run, of course we have 5, 4, 3, and the rest. So now we want to sort out this, and let's create another list. Let's say my letters, right? I will say this is okay. Let's say it's a string. I'll say this is R. I'll say comma, and this is let's say D. Say comma, and this is B, and say comma, and this is H, then, and this is let's say A. All right, so let's run. So now we have my list. All right, this is my, okay, let's say my num. Okay, so, and let's change this to num, and then we'll run. Okay, so now we get this. I want to sort this. So what we can do is say Ctrl V, and we'll say dot sort, and when we run, of course you can see function list dot sort key none reverse equals false. All right, so what Python is saying is that this is a function. You need to add your bracket. So when I run, of course you can see my num.sort, and it doesn't return anything because it's an in place. It's in place. All right, so when I say my num, now I run, of course you see 0, 1, 2, 3, as you can see, rather than having these 5, 4, 3, 2, it's now it has been sorted for us in the orderly method, right? So now we want to sort out this. my letters. So we'll say this, and let's run to get it, and we'll say Ctrl V dot sort. Remember to put in your parentheses, and when I say my letters, of course I have A, B, all right, so it goes in that order. So something, okay, let me show you something. I say, okay, sorted list. Okay, let's rerun this cell. All right, let's run this, and then let's come here. Sorted list is equal to my num, right, dot sort, and we'll have a bracket, then we run. Then let's call on my sorted list. I want to quickly show you something. All right, so when I say this, of course it returns nothing, and when I say type, all right, when I say type, and let's put this in a bracket, I say type, and now I run. Of course, you see none type. All right, this none means, like, none is actually a placeholder. Like, none is a placeholder when you don't know what to store in a variable. You can use it to hold your variable. So what I'm trying to show you here is that you cannot do it like this. If you want to store this in another variable, this is not actually how you do it. Okay, so how do you do it now? That is the question. So now you say my num is equal to my num dot sort, and then you say okay. Then here you say sorted list is equal to my num, right? And then you run. Then you say sorted list, and you have it all sorted out, right? So this is how you actually save it. So this is it for, before we do, let's look at the reverse method, right? The reverse method. So now let's say sorted list. I want to reverse this, and so you can go from in a descending order, right? So now we'll say dot reverse, of course, the reverse. All right, so we add this and then we run. So when I call on sorted list, what do you see? You see it starts from, it goes in a descending order. So this is it for this video. I don't think there's any more thing to do on list, but in the next video or later in this tutorial, we're going to show you the concept of list comprehension. So I've been able to go over some things. Let's start. So we started by how to declare a list, set on a list, and we looked at the type. And now we went on indexing and slicing. All right, so after that we went on concatenation, list concatenation. After that, we looked at list mutation, all right, the mutability, right? So after that, then we looked at what else did we look at? Okay, we look at the sort, the append, that is the list method. So there are so many list methods, and you can go ahead and look into them. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.